Hey guys, Island Turtle here. Welcome to BOMISpirit. So, I just have a quick little channeled message that wants to come through. I'm not even going to pull cards or anything. I'm just going to put this out there. So, whoever resonates with this message, you have been going through very much an up and down roller coaster emotionally. Okay. I feel like whoever this is for, they're showing me fives, 555. Ones may also be significant. Whoever this is for, this roller coaster, you may have been feeling kind of crazy. You may have been feeling out of control. You may have been feeling like you've been battling with doubts, fears, and insecurities. This may have been coinciding since February, some of you since September, December. Some of you, this has been going on for I'm hearing maybe 3 years, 2, 3 years, something like that. It's gonna be different for everybody. But this back and forth of the highs and the lows emotionally, I want to encourage you. I want to support you and reassure you that you're not crazy. Some of you may have been accused of having BPD or being bipolar. I am not a doctor, so that full disclosure there. Okay. But I want to say it's because your heart has actually been calibrating. It's almost like you have been having these glimpses or even like moments where you like briefly touch like a future version of self. Some of you, it's like it's a higher timeline. Some of you, it's actually just the true desires of your heart, of what your heart and your soul really want you to do. Some of you may identify that as a calling, a vision, a purpose, a massive life goal. Oh my God, this is why I'm here kind of stuff. All of you, it's different within that bucket. So again, mission, calling, purpose. Some of you, it's just having this feeling like you're getting glimpses of your future self or your highest timeline or a higher timeline. That's how it's coming through. Yellow, gold is starting to come through. White is starting to come through. I feel like that's emphasizing your aura, actually. You may identify yourself as a healer or a mystic. I'd be shocked if you weren't, considering what I'm picking up here with you. And so as you have these brief moments of touching or seeing or connecting to this timeline, future self, a calling, a purpose, a vision, etc., that's when you feel the highs. That's when you go into the high. That's when you start to feel, I got it. I'm making the right choices. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am aligned. I am here. I'm ready. I'm good. Things are great. I'm on track. Keywords being there. Being keywords. I am on track. I am on track. I am on track. What happens is, as you have these brief moments of connection, clarity, insight, feeling, seeing, this, then you hit a low. Then you almost yeah, yeah. Then it's like you come off that high and you start to feel heavy emotions, doubts, fears, insecurities, sadness. What's really happening is you are touching the potential of what could be. You're connecting with it, you're communing with it. Again, whether it is a version of self, a timeline, or a sense of a calling, a purpose, mission work even. And then when this like sadness comes up, when these fears, darkness, etc. comes up, it's really because you're clearing it. Okay, you're clearing it out, you're letting it go. When we have things that come up within us like that, especially if it's like old stuff, it's not always because it's actually plaguing us. It's not always because we should be sitting in it and marinating in it and processing it. A lot of times it's coming up to be released, to be cleared out, so you can let go of it and actually align even deeper into that future version of self, that higher timeline, that calling, that sense of purpose, mission, etc. Okay, so this toggling you've been going through back and forth of the ebb and flow of these extremes, right? Again, you may have been questioning and doubting yourself quite a bit, because I keep getting like when you hit the low, where like the heart is emptying, where the heart is clearing this out, you start to really doubt yourself. You start to feel like you're not on track, or nothing, or it doesn't make sense, or you're just crazy. It's like these are things that are coming through. But what you've been doing is you have been slowly calibrating to that version of self, or that timeline, or that goal or mission or calling. And you have been in the right place at the right time. You have been on track. Don't doubt that. Don't doubt yourself. Don't let other people doubt you. Don't let other people make you think you're crazy. Everyone's in a different journey. Everyone's doing different stuff. Everyone's making different choices. But whoever needs to hear this, this is your confirmation. And I want to say reassurance, because I think this has been really hard for whoever this is for. I think this has been, sorry, I know, Mercury retrograde. I feel like this has been very, very difficult for you, whoever's resonating with this. Because I also keep getting that, like, on the external reality, like the way people have perceived you, they don't get it, they don't understand it. And I think even for yourself, you haven't fully understood it, because however your heart has been calibrating, in this way. How do I want to say this? What are the right words here? It was never going to make sense until you were close to the completion of it. It was never going to make sense until you were close to the completion of it so you could actually see it for what it was that was happening. Because it's like, think of it this way. Like, let's say whenever this started, you were very, very much in resonance with all of what you're clearing now. Okay. So trying to think of a way to explain this. So let's say version A, and you're reaching version B of self, or timeline B, or calling goal mission B, but you're over here in A. And then you start to see it, touch it, experience it, and you're like, whoa, what is that? What is that? Whoa, that feels interesting. And then what happens is you start to let go a little bit of A. And so now you're like, you went from 100% A to like 80% A, right? And 20% B. That's still a lot of A. And then you keep slowly kind of getting more touches of it, glimpses of it. And then suddenly you start clearing more. And now you're at like 70%, 65% B, and what is that? 35% A or 30% A, right? So you understand what I'm saying? It's like you've been slowly moving away from this to get to here. There's no way you could fully see all of what this is or feel all of what this is and recognize that you've been moving away from this until you're at the other side. Until you're like, wait a minute, oh shit, that is way over there and I'm actually here now. Do you understand what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. Anyway, so again, this was just a very quick little channel message I wanted to put out there for whoever needs to hear it. I was doing the patron weekly reading and this came up and I'm like, oh, I can feel this needs to be like actually out into the world for other people to have that reassurance. And so also understand too that I think that there is a connection here to the collective at large as far as the ascension process the collective has been in for years. Some people feel like we've only been in an ascension for like a year or 2 or 4 years from 2020. We've been in this for a long time. We've been in this for a long time. And so for a collective ascension to reach a point where we can actually recognize it, A to B, right? We need to be close to completion of that. I'm not saying we're close to completion of it. Some people will say we are. I don't think that's for anyone to say. I think that's honestly up to free will and that's up to God, goddess, right? That's just my opinion. Anyway, to fully see and experience, oh, we have ascended as a collective, we need to be close to the completion of it. But for that to also happen, individuals need to go through their own ascension process and everyone's going to do that in their own way, in their own time. Okay. So some of you may have been in this awareness experience for decades. Some of you maybe just a few months, maybe some of you just a few years. That also wanted to be emphasized here. But anyway, you're not crazy. This is, for a lot of you, what the process or experience of ascension has been like. Because that has been what you have been doing. You have been slowly ascending and integrating into version B or version 2 of self, of timeline, of goals and desires, etc., while slowly detaching and releasing version 1, version A. And that takes time. And that is not an overnight thing. And so no, you're not crazy. So what if you're emotional? So what? So what if it seems like you're back and forth a lot as far as like what you want or what you think? It's also just growth. I keep just want to say, like, don't let other people judge you for your process. Don't, because they don't know. Okay? Don't let anyone judge you for your process because they don't know. Ascension is messy as hell. It's very hard. It's very difficult. Otherwise, we all would have done it years ago. Right? And it does need to happen in its own way, in its own unique way for every individual in their own time. Okay? So don't judge yourself for your process. Don't let anybody judge you for your process. Don't let anybody tell you you're doing shit wrong, right? You got to experience your process in the way you experience it. The other thing I want to mention too, with the up and the down and the up and the down, in the lows, in the downs, you may have been experiencing what you've been clearing or releasing or emptying as like shadow or like spiritual tax or things of that nature, it's part of the process. I'm not going to say that's not what you were experiencing because your experience is your experience. But I think the perception of it, I, it's not that simple, is what I want to say. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. Sometimes our fears and our shadow can take on like a life of their own in our reality because our reality is a projection of what's going on internally, right? So if you are like in this back and forth, you're at this like strong low because you're clearing something from version A, version 1, right? Can it be made manifest in your reality for you to be perceiving it? Yes, but only because you are currently releasing it. Again, just because some things are coming up doesn't mean it's like we need to hold on to it or marinate it. It's just to observe it, to actually let it leave and say goodbye once and for all. Okay. But anyway, I'm going to go. That's the message for whoever needs to hear it. Happy spring equinox, by the way. I will see y'all later. I'm going to get back to other recordings. Okay. Bye. Take care.